home games are always important for us. I mean, any game is really important for us, but home crowd, got to sleep in my bed last night. Warmed up, had a shoot around in the gym that I practice in every day. It's always a good feeling to play at home. So it's always important to never let these games slip away from us.
Offensively, you guys got off to a slow start against Marquette, and that's kind of been something that you guys have struggled with when you've lost games. What was different about tonight? How'd you get off to such a good start? Were you more patient on offense or taking better shots, or what was it?
I can't really say, pinpoint an exact reason why, but it's just part of basketball. Sometimes you get off to better starts in some games than others, but kind of goes back to the home game thing. We're used to this court. We're used to practicing on this court, which makes it a lot more easier. It makes us a lot more comfortable out there. But no excuse for on the road. But I don't know. We just got off to a good start tonight. Tonight was one of those nights where we were able to flow smoothly, and everything went accordingly. So it was just so happened. No discredit to DePaul, but we just everything was just smooth for us tonight.
Justin, is it difficult to play when you're ahead by 26 points? I mean, that lead went down to, I think, 16 a couple times. In the last 8 or so minutes, do you feel like the focus was slipping a little bit?
Yeah, Coach just said in the locker room, it's human nature when you have such a big lead, and it kind of is like that the whole game. It's you kind of lose focus a little bit, but we just had to stay locked in and stay focused, no matter if we're up 30 or we're up 1. So we definitely a learning experience. So we'll be ready for the net. We'll be ready to handle the lead next time.
What kind of difference does it make for your team when D. Davis is playing as well as he did tonight at both ends of the floor, contributing offensively, getting steals, getting assists, doing all sorts of different things? What's the impact for you guys?
D's, he's the quarterback. So when he goes, we go. Like you said, it makes the game that much more easier, because at the same time it makes it easier when we get stops on defense. D's able to push the ball, and we're able to get out in transition and fight each other. So D's one of the best point guards I've ever played with. So he has ears on the side of his head, and he always knows where people are, and it's easy for him to find people because he's such a great passer. And when you kind of disrespect him or you sag off of him, he has a good enough jump shot and a quick enough first step to get in the lane and shoot a floater or shoot the jump shot. So D's one of the he's very unselfish at that. To say that too, to add that, he's very unselfish, and he wants to pass first. So it's good when you don't have a score first point guard, and D's a pass first and set his guys up, and he knows everything will come smoother if he does that first.
Did you guys note at all that tonight was win number 18 of the season?
No.
So, all right. The point being that you guys had 17 wins last year. You surpassed last year. I mean, so does that hold any meaning for you guys at all?
We're better. We're better than we were last year, but now we like I said, every here at Xavier it's a tradition. We have the same mentality every game. So we had a rough season last year, but we attack and we approach every game the same way. So we just go out with the mindset to win, and we know if we give our best effort, whatever happens in between those lines is when we give our best effort, we're willing to take the outcome, whether it's win or lose. Because as long as you give your best effort, it's kind of hard to lose.
Justin, can you speak to your perimeter defense? You guys gave up, I think, like 5 threes in the first half, but maybe 1 in the second. What adjustments did you guys make?
Just being there on the catch, moving on the flight time of the ball, and being able to anticipation. We just, like I said, we were just there on the catch. Being able to be there was a significant difference. Like you said, like they made 1 3-pointer in the second half. So it's once your antennas are out and you anticipate some things, it makes the game that much more easier, because you know who to close out too hard, and you know who to close out to maybe shorter, because they're not a shoot first person. that's thanks to personnel. So, thanks to Coach Steele and those guys for the personnel.
I was happy with the way our guys started. I thought our team was ready to play. As a coach, you always worry about your team's emotions, their readiness to play. When you play a team that doesn't have a great record, but at the same time, you know as a coach that they have the talent, and they're starting to get guys back that have been injured. And so, I was happy that we were able to get out to the lead that we were able to get out to. We took care of the ball. We end up going, I think, 23 assists on 27 field goals. I thought we played offensively as well as we could play at times. In the second half, it became a little bit of a ratty game once again because DePaul wanted to make it that way. And we handled the pressure much better. We had times where we went to the rim, got fouled. We had times where we pulled the ball back out and ran offense and tried to bring the clock down a little bit. But, our kids did what they needed to do, and that is win a home game against a team that's below us in the standings.
Coach, they were able to stay relatively close in the first half by hitting three-pointers, but you really clamped down on that in the second half. What was the difference there?
Well, number one, they're shooting it from a tough position. Forrest Robinson is a stretch four, and I thought on a couple of them, our rotations weren't quite quick enough. We weren't there on the catch, and I thought one or two of the looks were pretty open looks. And when you give a guy some confidence and all of a sudden he makes one, now he doesn't need to have as much of an open look the next time, once that first one goes down. So I thought we did a better job in the second half of adjusting. He was in foul trouble, obviously, and that helped us because their other bigs aren't three-point shooters. But again, the way we play defense, if we're not going to switch ball screens and keep Matt sort of on the same matchups, sometimes that happens. But I thought we controlled the paint. I thought we were really good at keeping Billy Garrett and Brandon Young out of the lane, which to me, when DePaul wins, that's how they win, not necessarily from DeForest Robinson making threes.
When you look across his stat line, do you think this was maybe D. Davis's most complete performance of the season?
He's had some really good ones, so it's hard for me to maybe say this is his most complete game. I thought he showed great decision-making, not just with his passes, but when to take the open shot. I thought a couple of his teammates found him on making the extra pass, which he always does, and he was the recipient at times in the first half, and it was good to see him knock three-point shots down. He's a good shooter. He just needs a little time. He's smaller, but his decision-making today was really good, whether to shoot the ball or pass the ball, and obviously 7 assists, 1 turnover. You can't ask much more out of your point guard.
Is he taking much different shots in a game like tonight where he shoots it really well versus a game where he goes 1 for 4 and it's just a matter of them going in versus not, or is it different shots? Yeah,
I thought tonight we were able to get DePaul spread out a little bit. The 1 3 that he made in the second half right in front of our bench, that to me really signified a lot of growth in D. He came off the ball screen and they decided to go under, and he sort of played cat and mouse, and Matt or whoever said it kept rolling, and pretty soon D's man was about 10 feet from him and was able to, not able to contest the shot. And that shows the poise of a junior guard. A lot of times freshman guards, they just come off the ball screen, whether the guy goes over with him or goes under. And D really played cat and mouse, and I think it showed his experience out there.
I asked Justin this. Tonight, you guys, it was the 18th win of the season. It surpasses last year's, and I know you guys like to put last year well behind. But what does that say about the program itself that you guys have put that last year behind? And I mean, Justin looked at me like I had 3 heads when I told him it was the 18th wins. Like that's of no significance.
Well, we're a better team than we were a year ago. We had some bumps that we had to go through a year ago. We lost one of the best players in our league, in Des Wells. We lost Jalen Reynolds and Miles Davis. Didn't get a lot of publicity. That in one of those cases, I thought didn't get a fair shake with the NCAA, and so we weren't as deep of a team as we needed to be. And because of that, coming into this year, guys like Jalen and Miles didn't have a whole lot of experience. They couldn't even practice with our team. And so even if they had played minimal roles last year, they'd have gained experience. And so it's good to see that, we're in the right direction. But we knew that. We knew that with who we had coming in. We knew that we knew we had that with who we had sitting out. But we also knew we were heading into the Big East and a bigger challenge. But, our kids love a challenge, and so it's been a great season. We just have to continue to fight, finish this thing off the right way.
The free throws in the first half, was that a contagious thing where someone was missing and they all were missing?
I think so. I mean, I think Justin started off. He missed a couple, and, I even heard him as I turned the corner coming into the tunnel. You never know if it should be addressed, and that next free throw shooter gets up in the beginning of the second half and feels like the weight of the world's on his shoulders to be, the guy that gets us back to being a good free throw shooting team. And in essence, all he's shooting is one free throw or two free throws. So I heard Justin sort of say, "Fellas, my fault. I shouldn't have got off to the bad start. It became contagious. I'll knock him down the second half." So I elected not to say anything at halftime. We're the second best free throw shooting team in our conference here in Big East play, and we're playing at home. We got to the line an awful lot. Felt like in the second half just had to settle in and knock some down.
I just have one last question. As you turn your page to the next game, you have a very early start against Georgetown, 11:30 a.m. Have you ever had a game that early, and kind of what's that like for you guys?
Had a game earlier. We played Dayton here a few years ago at 11 a.m., so it'll be an early pregame breakfast. We will not shoot around, and I'm assuming Georgetown won't either the day of the game. But we'll get to D.C. a little bit earlier than we might normally the day before, just so we're, we get our legs under us and we're ready to play.